Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is Explanation of Battle Through the Heavens episode number 159 based on novel. So let's start. Most of these figures were wearing dark golden armor. There was a dragon image on their armor. The dragon seemed to vaguely be moving, appearing as though it was alive. It even appeared to be emitting wave after wave of a powerful dragon pressure. Other than these people wearing dark golden armor, there were some human figures with naked upper bodies. These people appeared quite large and strong. They had an awe-inspiring visual impact. It's the people from the Western Dragon Island and the Southern Dragon Island. Numerous voices that contained some anger immediately reverberated around the ancient Dragon Island when they saw these human figures. Xiao, you actually dare to lead people to my Eastern Dragon Island? What great ability! The space in the sky became distorted. Numerous figures appeared. The old man leading them was Elder Qiyu, who had chatted with Elder Zhu Li back then. At this moment, his usually impassive face had become extremely stern. A mighty feeling without anger was vaguely emitted from him. Ha ha, old fellow Qiyu, you should not vent your anger on me. I am only here on orders to invite the great person with the royal bloodline back to the Western Dragon Island. A large man with thick eyebrows wearing a dark golden armor slowly took 2 steps forward. When he stepped forward, empty space appeared to tremble. He glanced at Qiyu, who was within a defensive barrier, and loudly laughed. I'm afraid that the Western Dragon King wishes to imprison the royal bloodline on the Western Dragon Island, no? He is merely a branch of the royal bloodline, yet he dares to call himself a Dragon King. Isn't he afraid of killing himself? Qiyu coldly laughed. The large man called Xiao faintly said, the current ancient dragon tribe has split into 4. Regardless of the reason, the Western Dragon King possesses a royal bloodline. He has a stronger gathering ability than you people with ordinary bloodlines. If one were to talk about it, your Eastern Dragon Island is the one that should not exist. Among the 4 islands, only your island is not led by someone with a royal bloodline. This kind of existence will not be accepted. It is not up to the other 3 Dragon Kings to decide what is acceptable or not. The ancient Void Dragon tribe does not have whatever North, South, East or West Dragon Kings. It only has the former Dragon Emperor. The remainder do not possess any qualification to implement any tribe rules. Qiyu raised his eyebrows as he replied. I am also too lazy to utter any nonsense to you, old fellow. This time around, I have come under orders. Please hand over the great person who possesses a royal bloodline. Otherwise, this matter will really likely not end well. Xiao curled his mouth as he made a demand. Because of you? Qiyu's expression turned cold. He clenched his fist and a frightening energy hurriedly gathered. Qiyu, in terms of combat strength, your Eastern Dragon Island is the weakest among the 4 islands. If my Western Dragon Island's Dragon Armor army were to invade, this Eastern Dragon Island would not be able to endure for long. Xiao waved his hand when he saw that Qiyu was preparing to fight. The dark golden human figures behind him slowly stepped forward. A powerful pressure gathered and spread toward the Dragon Island. When this pressure spread, the expression of Elder Zhu Li, who was deep within the Dragon Island, slowly became gloomy. He looked at Xiao Yang, who was still seated in front of the large cauldron. He said in a deep voice, all of you should protect Mr. Xiao Yang properly. Do not allow any accidents to occur to him, understood? Some low and deep cries were emitted from the surrounding mountains when Elder Zhu Li's voice sounded. Zhu Li only nodded upon hearing their replies. His body moved and disappeared in a strange manner. The next time he appeared, he was already in front of Qiyu's body. He lifted his head and swept his calm eyes over the human figures suspended in empty space. It paused on the group of large human figures with naked upper bodies. The Dragon Armor army from the Western Dragon Island and the Barbarian Dragon army from the Southern Dragon Island. The elite fighters of these 2 islands have been dispatched. May I know who is the commander of the Barbarian Dragon army? Haha, you are indeed worthy of being Elder Zhu Li. The old me is still discovered by you even though I am hiding by the side. The empty space slowly became distorted after Elder Zhu Li's voice sounded. A pale-skinned elder wearing simple skin clothes appeared from nowhere and laughed at Elder Zhu Li within the Dragon Island. It is actually Elder Man Yang. Elder Zhu Li glanced at this elder. His voice did not contain too much fluctuation as he indifferently spoke. Elder Zhu Li, hand the person over. We have come under orders. The ancient Void Dragon tribe has already become like this. I think that it will be extremely difficult to unite the tribe again. The 3 great Dragon Kings will not allow such a thing to happen. Man Yang sighed. He looked at Zhu Li before speaking in a deep voice. What nonsense. Hand over. Do you really think that my Eastern Dragon Island can be bullied? If the first elder and second elder weren't both undertaking a deep retreat, would the 3 islands dare to come to my Eastern Dragon Island to act arrogantly? A figure suddenly rushed to the sky. He cried out loud without being afraid of the pressure that spread from the many experts from the Western Dragon Island. Hey Qing, you still possess this terrible temper that asks to be beaten up. Xiao glanced at He Qing. After which, he turned to Man Yang and said, we do not have much time to waste. Let's attack. After his words sounded, the dark golden dragon armor on Xiao's body suddenly emitted a bright golden light. A monstrous aura swept out of their bodies like a storm. A deep dragon roar was faintly emitted from the golden light. Dragon armor army, attack. Bring back the great person who possesses the royal bloodline. Xiao suddenly waved his hand. The many figures wearing dragon armor all let out a stern cry in unison. Fierce auras surged out. They transformed into numerous rays of light that charged explosively into the ancient dragon island. Let's attack. Man Yang sighed and gave a command when he saw them attack. The human figures with naked upper bodies nodded when they heard his order. Their arms rapidly shook when they clenched their fists. In the blink of an eye, their two arms transformed into dragon claws that were covered with pale purple scales. Their bodies flashed and charged into the ancient dragon island. Stop them. Elder Zhu Li cried out in a deep voice. His face turned gloomy when he saw the many figures charging into the dragon island. Understood. Numerous blurry figures suddenly charged over from the ancient dragon island after Elder Zhu Li's voice sounded. In an instant, vast and mighty auras swept over the sky. The muffled sound of flesh colliding violently with other flesh and the loud explosions of energy resonated across the sky. Bang! He Qing, who wore a gloomy expression, violently punched a person with a naked upper body whose hands had turned into dragon claws. The person spat out blood and withdrew. Before he could once again charge forward, Elder Zhu Li had appeared in front of him. He Qing, go and protect Xiao Yang. Do not allow any accidents to happen to him. Leave this place to me. Elder Zhu Li spoke in a deep voice. Although He Qing was a little unwilling to leave the battlefield, he also understood Xiao Yang's importance at this moment. At that moment, he could only clench his teeth. His body pulled back with lightning-like speed. Within a couple of flashes, he entered the deepest part of the ancient dragon island. Zhu Li, allow the old me to be your opponent. After dispatching He Qing to protect Xiao Yang, Elder Zhu Li's eyes focused on the space in front of him. The grayish-white-skinned Man Yang was slowly appearing at that spot. At this moment, his body was beginning to form some purple dragon scales. His hands had also become sharp dragon claws. Man Yang had turned into a half-human half-dragon with a dragon body, dragon claws, and dragon arms. An extremely monstrous aura slowly spread from Man Yang's body after the transformation was complete. Even the surrounding space had become extremely distorted as a result. We have not met for many years. I wonder if the current you have broken through the Dozun class. Man Yang's eyes also revealed a dark purple color because of the transformation of his body. He smiled at Zhu Li and his feet gently pressed down. An intense fluctuation suddenly appeared. His body was like lightning as it appeared in front of Elder Zhu Li in an instant. He waved a dragon claw and a frightening energy followed. Bang! The entire ancient dragon island erupted with earth-shaking sounds. Numerous battlegrounds appeared in the sky above the dragon island. The originally calm and quiet atmosphere no longer existed at this moment. Two of the dragon islands had dispatched their elite forces. This fighting strength could wash any top-tier faction in the Central Plains with blood. In the face of this sudden sneak attack, the Eastern Dragon Island was initially caught off guard. Fortunately, it possessed quite a number of experts. After experiencing the initial chaos, the battle was finally stabilized. While the Dragon Island had descended into an intense fight, the deepest part of the Dragon Island still maintained a peacefulness. A frightening temperature still spread over the mouth of the volcano. Within the large cauldron, Ziyang's body, which was originally hard, slowly regained its softness. One could vaguely sense a terrifying ocean-like energy flowing within her body. He Qing's expression was solemn as he stared at the interior of the large cauldron from the air. Suddenly a wave of rushing wind sounds were transmitted from the distance. This caused his expression to change a little. He turned his head, only to see 10 exceptionally fierce auras rushing over with lightning-like speed. Stop them. Do not allow them to disturb Xiao Yang. He Qing coldly cried out when he saw these fellows barging over. He Qing's cry had just sounded when numerous human figures quickly rushed forward and stopped the human figures in the distance. A big battle erupted immediately upon contact. Although those who had come were blocked, He Qing's expression remained quite ugly. He understood that the last Northern Dragon Island would definitely not sit back and do nothing since the Western and Southern Islands had received word. With the strength that the Eastern Dragon Island currently possessed, stopping an attack by these two islands was already extremely difficult. If the Northern Dragon Island were to intervene, it would really be dangerous. He Qing clenched his fist as his eyes focused intently on the skinny young man seated in front of the huge cauldron. He muttered, "Xiao Yang, be quicker." An intense energy rippled across the sky like muffled thunder, resonating above the Dragon Island. Xiao Yang, who was seated in front of the large cauldron, appeared to be unable to sense the chaotic situation that existed in the outside world. His blood-filled eyes were staring at the inside of the large cauldron. His hands were stiff as he formed a seal and controlled the temperature. This 1 month without rest and the need to perform such a frightening task would be enough to tire an expert at the peak of the Dozun class to the point of exhaustion. However, Xiao Yang had endured this bitter struggle. Despite his endurance, his mind had become blurry at this moment. He Qing's eyes were anxiously staring at the disheveled Xiao Yang. His fist slowly tightened. He was aware that Xiao Yang was already at his limit. Xiao Yang's mind had been extremely tense during this period of time and had never relaxed even a little. Continuing like this would cause him great damage. This fellow is really extremely ruthless to himself. If the matter this time around can be resolved, I, old He, will become sworn brothers with you and fight anyone that you ask me to, He Qing softly muttered to himself. Even someone as proud as him had no choice but to be impressed by Xiao Yang. Bang! He Qing's voice had just sounded when an earth-shaking sound was transmitted from the distance. Immediately, a ferocious aura rushed over with lightning-like speed. Before the figure had arrived, a wild and unchecked laugh rolled around like thunder. Ha ha, it is actually here. After the wild and rampant laughter was transmitted over from the distance, that figure arrived near the volcano within a couple of flashes. After which, it slowly reduced its speed. Everyone glanced over and saw that it was a man wearing dark golden armor. The man's eyes were golden in color. His face also contained a faint fierceness. The fourth commander of the Dragon Armor Army, Xiao. He Qing was slightly startled when he saw this person. He immediately frowned. With a gentle wave of his hand, over a dozen figures rushed out of the surrounding mountain forests. They cautiously watched this man called Xiao. He Qing. He, it is unexpected that I have met you here. Xiao watched He Qing standing in front of him. Both of his eyes narrowed, but he did not say any unnecessary words. With a wave of his hand, many figures with great murderous intent charged forward from behind him. A mighty dragon roar reverberated across the sky. He Qing's expression sank when he saw them. He nodded and the dozen-plus experts from the eastern Dragon Island swiftly rushed out. They blocked those human figures wearing dark golden dragon armor. He Qing, obediently hand over that great person. Otherwise, blood will flow like a river through your eastern Dragon Island today. Xiao loudly laughed. His body flashed and appeared about a dozen meters in front of He Qing. They looked at each other. Sparks shot between their eyes and a frightening energy quietly poured out. We will have to see whether you, Xiao, has the qualifications to snatch this person. He Qing's expression was dark and solemn. His fist was suddenly clenched and he threw a ruthless punch. A dark black line was immediately formed. Soon after, this dark black spatial crack rapidly swam toward Xiao. Xiao also let out a cold snort when he saw He Qing's attack. His body did not give in a little as he suddenly threw a punch that violently collided with the dark black line. Bang! An incomparably powerful force spread out in a ripple. Xiao's body trembled before swiftly stabilizing. His foot stomped on the sky, and his body appeared beside He Qing in a ghost-like fashion. A ferocious storm-like attack was launched with lightning-like speed. He Qing let out a cold laugh when faced with Xiao's attack. He let out that cold laugh and did not give in. Instead, he collided head-on with Xiao. Bang! The two figures violently collided together in the sky. Each time a fist moved, it would cause the surrounding air to emit a sonic boom. The only quiet place had also become chaotic when the two began to fight. However, the skinny figure seated in front of the large cauldron did not show the slightest activity despite this. Bang! Two figures collided in the air. Fighting energy shook and tore space itself, forming a 100-foot-wide dark black hole. These two fighting figures also separated upon contact before pulling back. It is really unexpected. The current Yu has also advanced to the Ban Sheng class. Man Yang's footsteps staggered back. The deep purple dragon scales on his body had become much dimmer at this moment. Both of his eyes stared at Zhu Li a short distance away as he spoke in a deep voice. Zhu Li's face was without expression. His strength was similar to that of Man Yang, but Man Yang possessed a special secret technique that could turn him into a half-dragon half-human for combat, making him quite troublesome to deal with. Hence, it was quite a difficult task to defeat the other party. Zhu Li, do not continue any pointless resistance. The strength of your eastern Dragon Island is the weakest among the 4 islands. Currently, the 3 islands are working together. There is no way for all of you to resist. You should hand the person over, Man Yang slowly said. If the elders of my eastern Dragon Island hadn't entered the emptiness to train while the first elder and the second elder are undertaking a deep retreat, forget about you, even the 3 great dragon kings would not dare to come here. Zhu Li coldly laughed. Ha ha, Zhu Li, you should also be aware that it is only an if. Zhu Li's cold laugh had just rang out when a soft laugh was suddenly transmitted from empty space. Zhu Li's expression immediately became ugly when this soft laugh was heard. His eyes stared intently at empty space. Northern Dragon Island has finally appeared here. The empty space suddenly emitted numerous green lights in front Zhu Li's focused eyes. The green light rapidly became bigger. Numerous human figures rode the green light. They carried a monstrous aura as they appeared in the sky above the Dragon Island. Wave after wave of rushing wind could be heard. It seems that I am late. However, it is fortunate that I did not miss the main event. A green-robed elder in the sky looked at the chaotic ancient Dragon Island. He involuntarily smiled as he spoke. Xiao Yang. Zhu Li's heart completely sank when he saw this green-robed elder. These three great dragon kings did indeed act in a grand manner. They had actually dispatched one Ban Sheng and two experts at the peak of the Dozun class. It seemed that they really intended on taking Xiao Yang at all cost. The old man called Xiao Yang glanced at the gloomy-faced Zhu Li after he appeared. He laughed before turning to the deepest part of the Dragon Island. He said, Elder Man Yang, you will block Zhu Li. The old me shall personally bring that great person who possesses a royal bloodline away. Xiao Yang moved after uttering those words. He turned into a light figure that rushed toward the deepest part of this Dragon Island. Zhu Li became extremely furious upon seeing this. However, Man Yang blocked him before he could give chase. Man Yang's dragon claws danced, cutting through the air to rush toward Zhu Li. Bastard! Zhu Li was furious after being blocked by Man Yang. Monstrous Do Qi explosively surged out of his body. Zhu Li ruthlessly rushed toward the Man Yang. While Zhu Li was blocked by Man Yang, that old man called Xiao Yang appeared above the volcano within a couple of flashes. Xiao Yang glanced at Xiao Yang, who was seated in front of the large cauldron. His eyes then paused on the interior of the large cauldron. His brows were knit slightly as he muttered, that is the great person who possesses a royal bloodline her. She is only a child. However, the pressure of her bloodline already gives me a clue to her identity. Bring the person away first. Unexpected occurrences might happen if we delay. Xiao Yang was unwilling to remain for long after arriving. His body moved, and he was just about to attack when a figure flashed and appeared a short distance in front of him. That figure was Tai Zunja. He was without expression. His hand tightly held his metal sword while staring at Xiao Yang. An indifferent feeling quietly spread. You are seeking death. Xiao Yang knit his brows when he saw Tai Zunja blocking him. With his strength at the peak of the Dozun class, he would naturally not be concerned with Tai Zunja. He waved his sleeve and an energy storm appeared in front of him. It rushed toward Tai Zunja in a lightning-like fashion. Tai Zunja's expression remained indifferent. It appeared as though he could not see the gap between him and Xiao Yang. He raised his large sword up and immediately hacked it down in a simple manner. The sword landed. Tai Zunja's expression immediately became weary. It was as though all of his Do Qi had disappeared with this sword. At the same time, a palm-sized light emitted a kai sound as it rushed from the tip of his sword. Finally, it collided with that storm. Bang! The two first stilled upon collision. Soon after, a frightening energy whirlwind explosively surged out. The light sword was above the storm. The weary-faced Tai Zunja immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. His body appeared to suffer a heavy blow, and he landed in the forest below. You really don't know your limits. The corner of Xiao Yang's mouth was lifted in disdain after all it took was a wave of his hand to defeat Tai Zunja. Someone of Tai Zunja's strength dared to show himself. He really was seeking death. Brat, stop your flame. Xiao Yang stepped through empty space after defeating Tai Zunja. He slowly walked toward Xiao Yang and indifferently ordered him. However, the shriveled Xiao Yang appeared to have not heard his voice. His blood-filled eyes were staring intently at the interior of the large cauldron. Another one who seeks death. Xiao Yang's footsteps slowly halted beside Xiao Yang. He shook his head when he received no response. He slowly raised his hand. Do Qi surged as he ruthlessly smashed at the top of Xiao Yang's head. While Xiao Yang's hand was violently smashing down, the tightly shut eyes of the girl within the cauldron were suddenly opened. An ice-cold voice that contained an immeasurable amount of pressure resounded beside Xiao Yang's ear. It was like thunder that reverberated through his soul, causing his body to instantly still. If he loses even a strand of hair, you shall use your life as repayment. The icy cry that resounded beside Xiao Yang's ear was not loud, but at this instant, it caused his soul to violently tremble because the cry contained a pressure that he was unable to resist. This kind of pressure originated from his soul and his bloodline. A matured royal bloodline. A paleness surfaced on Xiao Yang's face the moment his body stiffened. His hand, which was close to landing on the top of Xiao Yang's head, suddenly halted. He did not hesitate even a little as his toes pressed against empty air to explosively pull back. While Xiao Yang's figure pulled back, a purple-golden pillar suddenly shot out of the large cauldron. It penetrated empty space, and within the blink of an eye, it smashed into Xiao Yang's body. Bang! The purple golden light exploded on Xiao Yang's body. A frightening wind caused his throat to feel sweet as he spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. His body ended up flying back in a miserable manner. While Xiao Yang was sent flying, Xiao and the other experts, who were fighting with He Qing's group around the volcano, experienced a drastic change. They hurriedly lifted their heads, and their eyes looked to the large cauldron, which was surrounded by a flame. A lovely figure vaguely surfaced from that spot. When that delicate figure appeared, they could clearly sense the blood within their bodies showing signs of boiling. They almost could not help but kneel in the sky after being driven by this boiling feeling. The true royal bloodline has been awakened. He Qing's eyes looked to the large cauldron as he muttered with excitement. The fiercely burning flame within the large cauldron was slowly extinguished in front of the many eyes present. A tall figure slowly appeared in front of everyone. The lady who had appeared was wearing a purple golden robe. A dragon and a phoenix were dancing on the robe. They appeared as though they were alive, emitting a noble aura that could not be hidden. The figure was tall and possessed long purple hair that poured down her body like a waterfall. Her hair spread over her narrow waist and reached her buttocks. The lady was extremely beautiful. Her purple eyes had transformed into a purple golden color. They appeared mysterious, containing a magical charm. Under the gaze of these purple golden eyes, it was as though the entire world would submit to her. The current Xiao Yang no longer possessed the appearance of a little girl. Instead, she had turned into a mature lady, whose beautiful appearance could bring disaster to a country or a city. Numerous eyes were initially absent-minded because of Xiao Yang's noble aura. Their eyes gathered on the spot behind her. A pair of 10-foot-long purple golden wings were gently being flapped. Wind was created and the sound of thunder was vaguely emitted when the wings were flapped, shaking one's very soul. Heavenly phoenix wings, ancient dragon body. The excitement on He Qing's face grew even denser when he saw the pair of purple gold wings on Xiao Yang's back. A moment later, he suddenly knelt in the sky. His respectful voice contained a devotion that originated from his heart. Greetings to your majesty, Dragon Emperor. Greetings to your majesty, Dragon Emperor. After He Qing spoke, the experts from the Eastern Dragon Island immediately knelt down with wild expressions. They all gave their greetings in an orderly manner. Xiao, Xiao Yang, and the other experts from the other islands also revealed a different expression when they saw the scene. They were not members of the Eastern Dragon Island. Due to them having submitted to the three great dragon kings for a long period of time, they did not act like He Qing and the rest despite having sensed the pressure that originated from their soul and bloodline. Xiao, Xiao Yang, all of you are really bold. You are not kneeling down after seeing the Dragon Emperor. He Qing turned his head suddenly and furiously yelled at Xiao Yang's group. Ha! Xiao Yang and Xiao dryly chuckled when they heard He Qing's furious cry. Their blood was completely suppressed upon being looked at by the purple golden eyes from a distance. This kind of pressure was far stronger than the pressure from the bodies of the three great dragon kings. We have seen the Dragon Emperor, but we are all the subordinates of the Dragon Kings. We will come and meet the Dragon Emperor in the future when we have the time. The two of them exchanged looks before hardening their skin. After uttering these words, the both of them no longer dared to remain any longer. Their bodies swiftly withdrew. Bastards! He Qing was extremely furious when he saw these people turning around to flee. He was just about to give chase when Xiao Yang, who had just stepped out of the large cauldron, waved her hand. The purple golden wings on her back were flapped and her body appeared in front of Xiao Yang in a ghost-like fashion. When she saw his blood-covered eyes and stiffened hands, her purple gold eyes, which always seemed to contain an endless amount of nobility, finally displayed a fluctuation. Rest first, it has been tough on you. Xiao Yang's hand was gently placed on Xiao Yang's forehead. A rich purple golden light materialized from Xiao Yang's body. It followed her finger and swiftly entered Xiao Yang's body. Within the blink of an eye, his body was wrapped by a purple golden light. Xiao Yang's blood-covered eyes were slowly shut. Great Dragon Emperor, it is all thanks to little brother's tireless efforts during this period of time that the Dragon Phoenix crystal has melted. He Qing rushed forward and respectfully explained the situation. I know. Xiao Yang gently nodded her head. After having transformed to her current form, it seemed that her character had become completely different than before. Her indifferent coldness seemed to contain an ability that was comparable with that of the world. In the face of this aura, even He Qing did not dare to treat her as that mischievous little girl from back then. Instead, he regarded her as the new Dragon Emperor of the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Take good care of him and allow him to rest properly. Leave the matter of the Dragon Island to me. Xiao Yang handed over Xiao Yang,
खतरनाक
who was
था।
still
अगर
covered
मेरी
by a
जगह कोई
purple gold
कमजोर
light,
वॉरियर होता
and
तो
gave an
वो
order.
अभी के लिए आपके अटैक से
Understood.
मारा जाता या
He
फिर
Ching
अपनी सपनों
hurriedly
की दुनिया के
supported
अंदर चला
Xiao
जाता।
Yang
और
in
इस
a
टाइम जो
respectful
बियर किंग
manner
था वो
upon
जियान से
hearing
बहुत ही ज्यादा
this.
प्यार से बात कर
After
रहा था
which,
और जियान
he
अभी के
held
लिए ये
Xiao
बात
Yang in
नोटिस
his
कर रहा
arms
था।
as
ये
he
सब उसके
swiftly
टियर
pulled
8 के
back.
अंदर एडवांस करने
After
की
He
वजह
Ching
से
and
इस
Xiao
वजह से
Yang
बियर किंग
withdrew,
अभी के लिए
the
उसको दे
purple
रहा है
golden
एकदम
eyes
फुल
of Xi
इज्जत।
Yang
वो भी
drifted
एकदम
around
दिल
the
से,
ancient
मगर
dragon
तभी
island,
उसे पीछे
which
से
was
आवाज
still
आती है और
embroiled
वो
in
आवाज
numerous
किसी और
fights.
की नहीं वो होती
The
है जिया
wings
की, जिसका
behind her
अभी के
were
लिए मुंह
gently
फूला हुआ था
flapped.
और वो जियान
Her
से
lovely
बोलती है
figure
फाइनली चलो अब
immediately
तुम
appeared
वापस
high
आ
in the
गए अपनी
sky,
रिट्रीट से।
appearing
और
as
उसका
though
मुंह
she had
अभी के लिए इसलिए फूला
teleported.
था क्योंकि वो
She
अभी
looked
के लिए काफी
down
ज्यादा
at
बोर
all
हो
the
चुकी थी।
battles
तभी
from
जो
high
जियान था
above.
उसके पास
A
जाता
rich
और उसे
purple
थोड़ा सा
golden
मक्खन
light
लगाता जिस
continued to
वजह से
spread
जिया
from
होती है
within
वो
her
शांत हो
body like
जाती
an
है। अभी
ocean
जियान उससे
wave.
बोलता है कि
It
मुझे रिट्रीट
scattered
के अंदर
over
गए हुए
every
कितने दिन
corner
हो
of the
चुके हैं।
ancient
ये सुन के
dragon
जिया का
island
फिर से
like
मुंह खुल
rain.
जाता और
This
बोलता है कि
is,
तुम अभी के
what
लिए
a
रिट्रीट के
powerful
अंदर गए हुए
bloodline
8 दिन
pressure.
बीत चुके हैं।
Such
और
a
अगर तुम
pressure
एक
is
दिन और
something that
रिट्रीट
even
के
the
अंदर
three
रहते
great
तो ये
dragon
पिल वर्ल्ड
kings
वो
do not
बंद हो जाता और
possess.
तुम्हें पिल
That
की
is,
कॉम्पिटिशन से बाहर
Dragon
निकाल दिया
Emperor.
जाता। ये सुन के
All the
जियान बिल्कुल भी
battlegrounds
हड़बड़ी
within
नहीं
the
करता
ancient
और बोलता
dragon
है छोटे
island
बिल्कुल भी
halted
टेंशन
almost
मत ले, एक दिन
instantly
अभी
when
के
the
लिए
purple
काफी है
golden
क्योंकि
light
अभी के लिए
spread.
जो टेस्ट पास करने के
Everyone
लिए
was
इंग्लैंड चाहिए थे
completely
वो अभी के
stunned.
लिए पूरे हो
While
चुकी है।
being
इस
bathed
वजह
in
से
this
जो
kind
नॉर्थ
of
में गेट
purple
है उसी
golden
की तरफ
light,
मुझे जाना
they
है
could
और वहां
sense
से
that
बाहर
even the
निकलना है।
blood
मगर
within their
अभी के लिए
bodies
तुम्हारे
had
क्या प्लान,
suddenly
तुम क्या
slowed.
करने वाली है?
This,
सुन के जिया बोलती है कि मैं
Man
तो पहले
Yang's
तुम्हारे
eyes were
साथ ही
shocked as
चलूंगी,
he looked
मगर
to
यहाँ
the
से बाहर
sky.
जाने वाला
The
जो
dragon
गेट है उस पे
claws,
ऑलरेडी
dragon
पिल टावर के
arms,
काफी सारे
etc.
वॉरियर
on his
खड़े हैं।
body
इस वजह
began
से
to
मुझे कोई दूसरा
transform
प्लान
under the
निकालना
purple
होगा।
gold
मगर
light.
अभी के लिए तुम
In the
मेरी
blink of
चिंता
an
मत करो,
eye,
मैं कोई
he
ना कोई
once again
रास्ते को
returned
निकाल
to the
लूंगी। ये सुन
appearance
के
of
जो
a
जियान
regular
तो वो
old
हमें
man.
नोट कर देता क्योंकि
Even
वो
his
जिया के
aura
बारे
had
में
become
जानता
a
है कि ये
lot more
कितनी बड़ी
sluggish.
क्लांटी है और
Has
साथ
it
ही अभी
really
के लिए पिल वर्ल्ड
succeeded?
के अंदर घुसाई तो
Elder Zhu
डेफिनेटली
Li
इसे
was
यहाँ से बाहर
stunned as
जाने
he
का भी
studied the
रास्ता
figure
पता
in the
होगा।
sky.
इसलिए वो जिया
A
से कहता
moment
है कि
later,
अभी के लिए
an
हम लोग को यहाँ से
excitement that was
निकलना चाहिए। ये
difficult to
सुन के जो
restrain
जिया होती है वो
swiftly
भी हमें
surged
नोट
into his
कर देती,
heart.
मगर तभी वो
Both
अपने
of
हाथ
his
को मूव
legs
करती और
slowly
उसके
knelt
हाथ में
in
एक
the
स्पेस
sky.
रिंग आ
Old
जाती
tears
है।
fell.
जैसे बियर किंग
A
भी
dragon
मूवमेंट
emperor
करके देख
has
रहा था
finally
क्योंकि उसके
appeared
अंदर
in the
रखे थे
ancient
सारे
void
मेडिकल
dragon
इंग्रेडिएंट।
tribe.
तभी वो इस
Numerous
पेस्टन जियान
figures
को
in the
देती थी
sky,
और
on
बोलती
the
कि मैंने
ground,
अभी के
and
लिए इसके
around
अंदर
the
सारे
mountain
मेडिकल इंग्रेडिएंट को
respectfully
रख
and
दिया और
sincerely
तुम इसे
knelt at
रख
this
लो। ये सुन
moment.
के जो जियान था
Even
वो
some
भी
of the
हमें नोट
weaker
कर देता
experts
क्योंकि
from
वो
the
जिया
other
के
three
सामने बहस
islands
नहीं कर सकता
hesitated
है
for a
क्योंकि
moment
जिया और
before they
फिर
were
दूसरे के
finally
सामने बहस
unable to
करना
resist
मतलब
the
जियान को
pressure
लगता
that
था कि अपने
originated
सर
from
को
their blood
पत्थर में
and
मारना।
soul.
इस वजह से
Their
इनकी
legs were
बात
bent,
माननी सबसे
and they
बढ़िया
suddenly
ऑप्शन है उसके
knelt.
लिए। और साथ
The
ही उसे
ancient
अभी के लिए
dragon
खुद इन
tribe did
मेडिकल
not kneel
इंग्रेडिएंटों
to
के
the
अंदर काफी
heavens
ज्यादा
or the
इंटरेस्ट था
earth.
क्योंकि इनकी
In
वजह से
their
अब उसे
hearts,
फ्यूचर में
the true
टेंशन नहीं
god was
लेनी
the
होगी
dragon
क्योंकि जब
emperor,
भी उसे
who
फिर रिफाइन
possessed a
करना होगा तो वो
perfect
इन्हीं
royal
में से मेडिकल
bloodline. At
निकालेगा
this
और
moment,
बहुत ही
many
आसानी
were
से रिफाइन
willing
कर
to give up
लेगा। और साथ ही
everything
इसके
because
अंदर
of
तो
their
ऐसे कुछ
inherited
मेडिकल
bloodline
थे
and
जो
the
कि
faith of
बहुत
their
ही ज्यादा
souls.
रेयर थे। इस
The
वजह
fact
से
that the
इनका बाहर
ancient
मिलना
dragon
बहुत ही
tribe
ज्यादा
had been
मुश्किल है।
split for
इसलिए
many
जन उस
years,
स्पेस
and
ट्रेन
that
को भी
quite a
अपने
number of
हाथ पर पहले
experts
तो
from
और
the
फिर
three
बियर
dragon
किंग की तरफ
islands
देखते हुए
possessed a
बोलता है
majestic
मालूम है
aura
कि
of
आप
the
भी अभी
three
के लिए
great
हमारे
dragon
साथ ही
kings
चलोगे।
didn't
इस उनके
matter.
जो बियर
With
किंग
the
अभी के लिए
appearance
स्पेस
of
ट्रेन
the
को
dragon
देख रहा होता
emperor,
तुरंत ही
the
अपने
three
ध्यान
great
को हटाता
dragon
और
kings
जियान से
are really
बोलता है
going to
हाँ क्योंकि
panic.
अगर मुझे यहाँ से
Man
बाहर
Yang
निकलना
softly
तो मुझे
sighed.
पूरी तरीके से
Although
बूढ़ी
someone
दादी
as
के
strong
ऊपर
as
ही
him
डिपेंड
did not
होना
kneel
होगा।
at
और
this
साथ ही वहाँ
moment,
तक मैं
he
आपके
still
साथ
bowed his
चलूंगी
body
क्योंकि
to
अगर
figure
बीच में
in
वो
the
बुढ़ा
distant
आदमी फिर से
sky.
तुम्हें मिल
The
गया तो मैं
matter
आपकी
today
रक्षा
has
कर सकता हूँ। ये
completely
सुन के जो
failed.
जियान होता खुश
With
हो
the
जाता
great
और
dragon
बोलता कि
emperor
इसके लिए
present on
आपका
the
बहुत
eastern
बहुत
dragon
धन्यवाद, मगर
island,
अभी के
the
लिए हमें
elites of
अपना
the
टाइम
other
वेस्ट
three
नहीं करना
islands
चाहिए
no
और
longer
हमें यहाँ से
possessed
चलना
even the
चाहिए। ये
slightest
बोल के जो
fighting
जियान तो
strength.
पापा का
Man
बन
Yang's
के वहाँ से
eyes
जाने
were
लगता, मगर
similarly
तभी
grave
बियर
as he
किंग बोलता है कि
exchanged
ऐसे नहीं
glances with
जाता मैं,
Xiao.
अपन जाते
An
एकदम
ordinary
फुल
tribe
सिस्टम से। ये
member
बोलते
of
कि
the
वो एक
ancient
जोर की
void
दाड़
dragon
मारता है
tribe was
जिस वजह से
unable
वहाँ
to
पे एक
attack the
बहुत ही
dragon
बड़ा बर्ड
emperor.
मैजिकल बीस्ट
Even
आ
someone
जाता
of
है
their
जिसे देख के
strength would
बोलते हैं
not
ये
dare
हमारी
to do
सवारी और ये
something this
बहुत ही ज्यादा फास्ट है
outrageous.
और इसमें हमारी
The
बेइज्जती भी नहीं
commanders from
जाएगी।
the
ये
three
सुन के वो तीनों
islands,
एक पल के लिए
leave
देर
with
नहीं
your
करते
people
और जाकर
within
उस
10
मैजिकल
breaths'
बीस्ट के
time.
ऊपर बैठ जाते
While
और
the
जो
two of them
मैजिकल
were
बीस्ट होता है
sighing,
वो
A calm voice that was filled with a prestige that could not be resisted slowly descended from the distant sky. Man Yang and Xiao Yang bitterly laughed upon hearing these words. Man Yang turned his head to look at Zhu Li. He softly said, "The persistence of the Eastern Dragon Island is perhaps correct. However, all of you should be careful in the future. The three great dragon kings are all people filled with wild ambition. They will not allow the great dragon emperor to unite the ancient dragon tribe." Man Yang ceased remaining any longer after he spoke. He waved his hand and led the many human figures into the empty space outside of the Eastern Dragon Island. The people from the other two islands also hurriedly followed. They did not dare to hesitate even a little. "After you return, inform the three great dragon kings that the ancient void dragon tribe has only had a single dragon emperor since ancient times. There are no dragon kings. When the time comes, this emperor will personally retrieve the trace of royal bloodline in them." The figure that was covered by a purple golden light in the sky once again spoke when the experts from the three islands fled into the empty space. The bodies of Man Yang's group involuntarily trembled when these words entered their ears. It seemed that a great change would occur within the ancient void dragon tribe very soon. This new great dragon emperor was infuriated by the arrogant and domineering actions of the three great dragon kings. The fury of a dragon emperor would shake the world. A blurry conscience drifted within the purple golden light. Numerous icicle auras seeped out of the light before merging with the conscious. This kind of assimilation continued for a long time before the purple golden light finally became dim. The icy aura also weakened until it finally disappeared. Following the scattering of the purple golden light, the blurry conscious emitted a faint coolness. The conscious finally began to awaken. Sunlight scattered into the spacious room. It penetrated the window and left behind numerous light spots on the ground. A human figure was quietly lying on a bed. The figure's tightly shut eyes suddenly trembled. They soon opened with some difficulty. When his eyes were opened, the glaring sunlight caused Xiao Yang to knit his brows. He shook his head and the churning memories in his mind immediately surged over like floodwater, causing his head to vaguely feel some pain. This place is... Xiao Yang sat up from the bed.
नहीं
His
देता और
eyes were
आसपास की
at a
जगह
loss
देखने
as they
लगता और
swept
बोलता है
around
कि
him.
इसके अभी के लिए
He
जो साथी है वो
recalled that
गायब
he
हो
ought to
चुके
be
हैं और
refining
साथ
the
ही उन्होंने
dragon
अपने
phoenix
ऑरे को
crystal
भी
for
चेंज
Zi
कर लिया।
Yang,
इस वजह
and
से
he seemed
उनकी
to
पहचान
recall that
करना
the
बहुत ही
ancient dragon
मुश्किल है और
island
फिर
had been
आसपास के लोगों
attacked.
को और देखता
Zi
जहाँ पर
Yang.
उसे और भी
Xiao
काफी सारे
Yang was
वॉरियर दिखाई
startled when
देते
he
हैं, मगर
recalled
वो
Zi
होते
Yang.
सभी के सभी
His
एल्केमिस्ट
palms
और वो
pressed
यहाँ
on
पे
the
इसलिए
bed.
आते कि क्यों
He
ना
had
चाहिए
just sat up when he
3000 वन
heard
इन
a
फ्लेम।
creak
तभी जो
sound.
जियान तो वो
The
अपने
hard
मन में
bed was
बोलता कि ये फिर
forcefully
कहते हैं
turned into
कॉम्पिटिशन
dust.
बहुत ही हार्ड
He
होने वाला है क्योंकि यहाँ
momentarily
पे काफी
became
सारे बुड्ढे
stunned.
आए रखे हैं
He
जो कि
looked at
काफी
his
ज्यादा
hands
टैलेंटेड
in
है
a
और इन सभी
startled
लोगों का
manner.
यहाँ पे आने
At
का
this
सिर्फ एक ही
moment,
कारण
he
है, वो है
realized that his
3000 वन इन
physical
फ्लेम।
strength
इसी
seemed
वजह
to
से
have
भले मैं
suddenly
अभी के लिए
soared.
सोल स्टेट के अंदर
This,
ब्रेक थ्रू
what
कर चुका हूँ,
happened?
मगर फिर भी मुझे
Xiao
अभी के इस
Yang knit his
कॉम्पिटिशन को
brows.
बिल्कुल भी हल्के
He
में नहीं
lifted
लेना
his
है। और फिर
sleeve,
उसकी नजर
only to
पड़ती है
discover
ध्यानचंद
that
के
there
ऊपर।
was a
ये
faint
लड़की बिल्कुल
purple
भी
golden
साधारण नहीं
color
है क्योंकि
vaguely
अभी के लिए
visible
जैसा
beneath
कि मैं
his
सोल
skin.
स्टेट के अंदर
At a
ब्रेक थ्रू कर
glance,
पा रहा हूँ,
it
तो मैं
appeared
इसे
like
अच्छे से
metal,
सेंस कर पा
giving
रहा हूँ
one
कि
the
इसकी
thought
बॉडी
that
में
it was
से एक बहुत ही
extremely
अजीब सी
hard.
सक्शन फोर्स
Creak.
निकली जो कि
While
देखिए वो
Xiao
एब्जॉर्ब नहीं
Yang was
करती
feeling
बल्कि
at a
इसकी जो
loss because
स्ट्रेंथ
of
को
the
एब्जॉर्ब
changes in his
करती है। और
body,
शायद ये
the
सब
door to
इसलिए
the
हो सकता
room
है
was
क्योंकि
pushed
इसके पास
open.
कोई स्पेशल
2
बॉडी हो,
figures
जैसे कि
swiftly
लिटिल
walked
पिंक
in.
डॉग के पास
They
बुल पॉइजन
rejoiced upon
बॉडी और
seeing that
चिंगलिंग के
Xiao
पास वो
Yang had woken
खतरनाक
up.
आंखें। शायद
He
इसकी बॉडी
laughed.
के अंदर कुछ
Little
ऐसी
friend Xiao
स्पेशल
Yang,
पावर है
you
और
have
फिर ये वहीं
finally
पे बैठ जाता
awakened.
और इंतजार करने
Elder
लगता
Zhu
गेट
Li.
खुलने का। और जैसे
Xiao
जैसे
Yang
टाइम बीतता
hurriedly
जा रहा
got
था वहाँ
up
पे
when he
और भी
saw the
काफी
old
सारे
man
लोग
enter
आते
the
जा रहे
room
थे
with
और
Hei
धीरे
Ching
धीरे
behind
करके
him.
इस टेस्ट का जो टाइम
Xiao
होगा
Yang
वो
cupped
खत्म
his
हो रहा
hands to
होता
the
है।
two
अभी
of
गेट
them
के
and
ऊपर की
smiled.
स्पेस के अंदर कुछ
Ha
हलचल
ha,
होती है और
little
उसके अंदर
friend
से एक
Xiao
कुत्ता
Yang
बाहर
need not
निकला
be
था
this
जिसने पहन
polite.
रखा था
You
पिल
have
टावर
done
का
our
बैच। और
ancient
इसी के
void
साथ ये
dragon
जो
clan
पार्ट
a
होता है वो
great
यहीं पे
favor.
खत्म हो जाता है।
We are
अगर
not
आपको
worthy
पसंद
of
आए तो
such
लाइक कर देना,
politeness.
साथ ही चैनल को भी
Elder
सब्सक्राइब
Zhu
कर
Li
देना। मैं
waved his
मिलता हूँ
hand
आपसे
and
नेक्स्ट वीडियो में,
laughed.
तब तक के लिए
Zi
आप
Yang
सभी
has
को बहुत सारा
succeeded.
प्यार।
Xiao Yang's heart moved upon hearing these words. He hurriedly asked. Yes. Zhu Li grinned and nodded. Anyone could see his current joy. Where is Zi Yang? Xiao Yang's eyes swept around as he asked in a stunned manner. The great dragon emperor has yet to completely absorb all of the energy within the dragon phoenix origin fruit. After appearing and defeating those who had come to invade, she undertook a retreat. It is likely that the retreat will be quite long this time around. Elder Zhu Li laughed. Xiao Yang nodded upon hearing this explanation, but still felt a little disappointed. His heart wasn't able to relax without being able to see the girl. There appears to have been some changes to my body. Xiao Yang's hand gently rubbed his arm before he suddenly asked a question with some hesitation. Ha ha, has little friend Xiao Yang discovered it? Elder Zhu Li smiled and continued, this was done by the great dragon emperor. She inserted a portion of the dragon phoenix strength into your body and activated the ancient dragon essence blood that you had consumed. Thus, your physical body has been strengthened. The strength of your current should not be inferior to that of a magical beast that has reached the Dozun class. Surprise flashed across Xiao Yang's eyes. No wonder he had sensed that something was not quite right. His physical body had strengthened an insane amount. The dragon phoenix strength is not as simple as you have imagined. Focus your mind and activate that unfamiliar strength within your body. See just what will happen. Elder Zhu Li spoke in a mysterious manner. Xiao Yang hesitated for a moment upon hearing his words. He nodded and shut both of his eyes. After focusing his mind, he swiftly found the foreign energy lingering within his flesh and activated it. With the activation of this energy, Xiao Yang suddenly sensed that his entire body was emitting a sore feeling. It felt as though a countless number of ants were biting his entire body, causing his heart to be startled. He hurriedly opened his eyes. He was shocked to see that every part of his body except for his head had formed a countless number of purple golden dragon scales. These dragon scales covered Xiao Yang's body, appearing just like armor. They seemed to be indestructible. These are the dragon scale clothes. It is a defensive skill that the ancient void dragon tribe possesses. However, your dragon scale clothes are not ordinary. Instead, they are a high-grade dragon phoenix ancient armor. Elder Zhu Li smiled as he studied the surprise that surfaced on Xiao Yang's face. He, this dragon phoenix ancient armor is good stuff. With this thing along with your actual strength, you will only suffer a minor injury even if you receive a punch from the 9th Tianzuan of the Hall of Souls. Hei Ching laughed. His tone appeared a little envious. He knew a lot about this dragon phoenix ancient armor from the ancient books that only a member of the ancient void dragon had access to. The shock on Xiao Yang's face was slowly withdrawn. He clenched his hand out of curiosity. His heart felt a strong indestructible feeling. It is indeed good stuff. Xiao Yang was aware that his defensive strength had increased by 2 or 3 levels because of this dragon phoenix ancient armor. An attack below that of a 6-star Dozun was unable to cause him any harm. Even if he met an expert like the 9th Tianzuan and was hit a couple of times, he would not end up with any overly serious injury. This dragon phoenix ancient armor will usually hide under your skin. It will immediately appear when you activate it. Elder Zhu Li laughed. Xiao Yang smiled and nodded. A thought passed through his mind and the purple golden scales swiftly returned beneath his skin. They completely disappeared amid an ice-cold feeling. After manipulating the dragon phoenix ancient armor to appear and hide, Xiao Yang gradually became familiar with it. His heart became more pleased with this thing. That's right, where is Qing Lin? After playing with this dragon phoenix armor for a while, Xiao Yang finally withdrew his attention and asked in an uncertain manner. Ha ha, that girl has the soul of an ancient heavenly serpent within her body. Moreover, it the most ferocious nine-headed heavenly serpent among the ancient heavenly serpents. This fellow's natural state is extremely brutal. Even though that girl can rely on the triple jade-green snake flower pupils to control it, the nine-headed heavenly serpent will definitely bite back as its strength gradually recovers. It will try control her. Zhu Li fondled his beard as he spoke with a smile. Oh! Xiao Yang's expression also changed a little when he heard this reply. It was unexpected that it was not possible to subdue the nine-headed heavenly serpent even with the triple jade-green snake flower pupils. Since that little girl is your friend, we will naturally help her. We have allowed her to train in the ancient dragon tomb after you ended up unconscious. That place is where the many ancient dragons over the generations rest. The dragon aura there is extremely vigorous. It can suppress the nine-headed heavenly serpent's soul, allowing it to be refined and absorbed. Zhu Li smiled as he gave an explanation. Therefore, there is no need for you to worry. Once that little girl completely refines the nine-headed heavenly serpent, her strength will soar. It will be very easy for her to gain the strength of the nine-headed heavenly serpent's soul since she is in possession of the triple jade-green snake flower pupils. Xiao Yang quietly nodded. Qinling was merely a 1-star Dozun. However, she was able to fight with a 6-star Dozun after borrowing the strength of the nine-headed heavenly serpent's soul. If she were able to refine and absorb it, it was likely that she would, at the very least, become a 5-star Dozun. Xiao Yang involuntarily smiled and shook his head when he thought of this. If one put it in this manner, this girl's strength would soar by at least 4 stars. This was far faster than him absorbing a heavenly flame. The triple jade-green snake flower pupils were indeed worthy of being called the best pupils in the world. In that case, I will remain on the ancient dragon island for a period of time. If we meet something like what happened last time, I will be able to lend a hand. Since Qinglin was still training, it was naturally not appropriate for Xiao Yang to leave alone. He mused for a moment before revealing his plan. Ha, you are naturally welcome to stay. The great dragon emperor instructed us to treat little friend Xiao Yang as a VIP before she left on her retreat. None of us will dare to slight you even a little. After her appearance, the old me sent news to summon the elders of the clan, who are training in the empty space. These old fellows did not wish to get involved while the ancient void dragon tribe was split. They had left and have not returned after many years. However, with the great dragon emperor appearing once again, it is likely that they will return. Zhu Li fondled his beard and laughed. Once these fellows return, the eastern dragon island will be impregnable unless the 3 great dragon kings arrive. Xiao Yang's heart moved when he heard this. It seemed that this ancient void dragon clan, which had been quiet for many years, was finally beginning to act. Should they be united once again, it was likely that their strength would soar once more. At that time, it would return to being an ultimate faction. That's right. Elder Zhu Li, may I know if there is anywhere within empty space where thunderbolts gather? Xiao Yang mused for a moment before suddenly asking a question. The sky demon puppet within his storage ring had nearly been crippled by that expert from the profound sky sect. It could no longer be used to fight. However, by using the strength of lightning, the sky demon puppet could be repaired. Pill lightning could only be attracted by a tier 7 or tier 8 medicinal pill, which were a little too troublesome. Pill lightning would not do. Therefore, he could only consider natural lightning. However, such lightning was extremely rare in the outside world, and the lightning there was too weak and too little. They could not provide the sky demon puppet with sufficient energy. Hence, he could only place his attention on the empty realm. This was another realm. Its danger was far greater than the central plains. However, this danger contained a lot of mystery. Elder Zhu Li was slightly startled upon hearing Xiao Yang's words. He contemplated the question for a while before slowly nodding his head in front of Xiao Yang's joyful eyes. There is indeed a spot within empty space near the eastern dragon island where thunderbolts gather. This video will end here.